Sitting on a big plant bus, looking just like a cabbage ball. Yeah, baby girl, your pussy dry like the dusty pieces in pattern walls. I'ma tell you right now, we took a tragic fall, and we done did it repeatedly. You always forget where your season be. These are things you plan to enter the deepest sea. Yeah, life is like a game, sort of like the Resident where the evil be. Yeah, you say you had Blu-ray vision, but your shit look like DVDs. Big little bitches are demon free. She got me lost in the woods. She told me some lies, and that's when I realized that the blood is no good. Off the leash like a dog in the hood. I don't think nobody claimed her. I don't really think it's nothing you can do to change her. She been around the world 3 times with the same purse. Let the dead bury the dead in the same hearse, yeah. I don't really know why you wanna take her out or just marry her. Should make you do all kind of things, homie, out of your character. Make me bust like 3 rounds about one of my crimes. Like grind, gotta make that money, man. It's still the same in a different plane. Make me pass like 3 clouds about one of these guys. Why? Gotta stay up of the game. It's still the same, it's still all it made. Make me bust like 3 rounds about one of my crimes. Grind, gotta make that money, man. It's still the same in a different plane. Make me pass like 3 clouds about one of these guys. Why? Gotta stay up of the game. It's still the same, it's still all it made. I'm smoking because it's relieving my stress. Yeah, every now and then I squeeze in a text about me and some sex. If she tryna flex with that ego out test, I'ma just leave her alone. You need to confess, put that Phoenix to rest, and just go to sleep in your home. And don't come back outside till you got it together. If you a chicken head, best believe on the same bench, flying together. Bitch, you gon' go to hell, Archangel Uriel, he on top of a feather. Yeah, with a Glock in a dresser, a chopper attack, I'm a popper forever. Yeah, now baby, you know I'm a criminal. When I come around, they start trembling. We'll shake it heavy like some Timberlands. People turning candy, call it like M&M's. Slide now, see the one that be in the way. Me and your girl gon' get intimate. I'm trying to show you lucky ass the bigger picture, but I don't think you getting it. Uriel coming from my percentages. Scattered across all the landscapes. Life across an arm and a leg. You gon' need more than a band-aid. You thought you was living free, but when we see your soul, it's in a damn cage. Yeah, where you and Mufasa do combo bangers and I corner my tada. Make me bust like 3 rounds about one of my crimes. Like grind, gotta make that money, man. It's still the same, a different plane. Make me pass like 3 clouds about one of these guys. Why? Gotta stay up of the game. It's still the same, it's still all it made. Make me bust like 3 rounds about one of my crimes. Grind, gotta make that money, man. It's still the same, a different plane. Make me pass like 3 clouds about one of these guys. Why? Gotta stay up of the game. It's still the same, it's still all it made.
Instant deodorant candlestick I got from a Hebrew Israelite. That's what that was, YouTube. Whatever you just see, that was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to light it, hang it on the wall, put it in, stamp it on the refrigerator and stuff like that, or you know what I'm saying, put it on the living room, coffee diner table. I don't know what to do with it and stuff like that. So it's just slid into the YouTube stream, split half a quarter meter second. That's it, split meter half. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get involved. Just get involved. Who made that song? Let's get into it. Let's get involved. Let's get, you know what I'm saying? Real stuff. We gonna talk about it. And we gonna like, I'm gonna try to get into topics. You know, so I'm gonna try to get into people and slightly give my opinion. I ain't gonna give too much of my opinion. I'm gonna allow the energies to be out there for y'all to put the 1, 2 together with the 3 and the 4 and the 5 and oh, this person is degenerate. Oh, this person did that for money. Oh, this person is talking out the side of their neck. Oh, this person got an opinion like everybody else got one. Where's the toilet paper? You know what I'm saying? You start. God got you thinking real good. That's all that matters. God gonna have you thinking real good. God gonna have you thinking real good. And then for the most part, you know, you're gonna be able to sit back and be like, okay, this may be what I may be experiencing. If you're doing something, this may be what I'm experiencing. If you ain't doing nothing, you sitting back waiting to see if someone else experiencing it. And if you can't see it, here you go, get ready to say, oh, astrology pseudo. Cause we about to tie this. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. This is my birthday. I don't act like my cousin that got the same birthday as me. Oh, so nobody care. Nobody care about both of y'all being degenerates. I said nobody care about your false belief in what the word astrology is. I said nobody care about that. Oh, but that. Guess what? You broke. So it don't even matter. It don't matter what you believe. You believe your favorite football team going win or not. You know what I'm saying? You believe your better soccer ball team going win. Or at the end of the day, what's the equilibrium out of all? What's the equalizer out of all? What's the common denominator out of all? You don't need to do no division. You don't need to do no multiplication. I guarantee you ain't going to school studying that either. I guarantee you ain't no professor for that either. You know what I'm saying? I care about your opinion. Where's the toilet paper? Where's the toilet paper? Where's the toilet? Everybody got an opinion. I'll say it was once upon a time, something was floating through the sky. Everybody was going through the stores and stuff like that, getting all the toilet paper. I remember that. Talking about it that much, I used the restroom. Sorry, I should have used it before I hit the live. Yeah. So basically, the energies about to be experiencing and stuff like that, your characters get ready to be shamed or your characters get ready to be praised or whatever the case. So you need to know we getting ready to be prepared to be in the world or the circumstance or the reactionary energy of Leo. Or if you don't like that term, however the case may be, or the people want to be like, oh, this is spooky or whatever the case, but the moon is in a position where the sun would have been at and we was experiencing that time of the year. Since the moon moves fast, your emotions move fast, and this is kind of going to be the kind of energy that you start to react to first. No, and then you might be a little bit more disgruntled due to the fact that you are in conjunction sign to Leo. You know what I'm saying? So that would be Pisces. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, what else would be the Capricorn or whatever the case may be. So Pisces and Capricorn will be in conjuncting. So if you got the sun, moon, or ascendant, especially if you got the sun, you may find yourself paying attention, paying things your mind. You're creating that gold. Some of y'all be creating dirt anyway, so y'all be throwing stones that don't be meaning anything because your word don't mean nothing. Your word ain't. But for the most part, right? You're going to be hitting things at an angle that may not necessarily represent anything. It just might create misunderstandings and stuff like that due to the fact of you being a Capricorn and your modality and your element and your element. I've already said that already. My bad. No, I said your cardinal your modality, your element, and your sign. That's what I meant to say. So for the most part, Capricorn, the sign is Capricorn, the modality is cardinal, and the element is earth. So when we start to talk about Leo, that's fixed fire. So it's going to put you in a situation where you're paying attention to something you may not understand, and your way of trying to gain understanding may create misunderstandings, and it can play out negative depending on how you do it as a Capricorn. It may play out positive. On the Patreon, they all upload. I'm getting ready to upload all the videos and stuff like that as far as particular signs, but I'm just generalizing it right now. The other in conjunction is Pisces. You may have a misunderstanding on the creative expression or how someone is expressing themselves. And you may over exaggerate that a person may be trying to get attention that they're not. And then the way you go about it, you may be the person trying to do that and things of that nature. So there's a misunderstanding going on. It ain't always about attention either. So I want people to understand that too. But your character is being judged. The way you're going to be seen is being judged. Now, for the most part, that's just worried about other individuals. And if you the type of individual that care about what other individuals think more than yourself and what God got for you and things of that nature, not to put too much God into this because this is a personal journey, that you should take your own spiritual responsibility. If you're a spiritual male or female within that mind and body at the moment, you need to be taking full responsibility for that. And that's the only reason, that's the only way God will help you anyway. God help those who help themselves. You see what I'm saying? But if you put yourself in a circumstance where like if you a Pisces, however the case may be, you may misunderstand that it may have something to do with attention and stuff, and it ain't got nothing to do with that. And just because the energy of Leo is described in that magnitude doesn't necessarily mean entertainment far as attention or whatever. It's just whatever we give attention to. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever entertain us at the moment. And a lot of y'all entertain bullcrap, faulty relationships, miscellaneous business agreements, stupid ways of going about your goals and stuff like that. And then that's when you start to realize, when you're developing that energy to pay something, your mind, that attention, that tension span to create life in a spectrum, in reality, to create that plane of existence that you could live in if it's fruitful. A lot of y'all don't participate in those type of warships in that plane of existence with your particular spaceship, your mind. And then you be in a situation where things don't go in your favor, but you was following along with something. And you was supposed to know ahead of time that you was supposed to get up off that ship, that train of thought, that line of reasoning, going in that direction that you don't want to steer that path in your life. You see what I'm saying? So it's like understanding things we already say and we already do, and we know that we doing it, but not paying attention to it each instant to understand that's where the magic at. Because I don't want people to get lost into trying to make money right now also. So, you know, since I got a broad mind and I got a big spirit, individuals who try to make money don't have their own type of knowledge to present. So they find themselves trying to think that they are intelligent by crafting what they think everybody else is thinking, then generalize it. Then if I'm a person saying something is going to be in the future, this person will try to cling on in the spirit world, attach themselves and water it down, and then try to generalize individuals thinking a certain way. So, you know, you might hear certain context of me speaking right now, and you'll have some fake intelligent individual that probably learned this from college or whatever, and take this and be like, hey, people are trying to make more out of simple things now. And that's not necessarily what I'm doing or whatever the case may be. But, you know, due to the fact of me being very broad and being very wide, I know the human failures and the mind that humans be going through and things of that nature, to go ahead and have a roof over their head too and things. And it had been so many routes, so many lanes, and so many loopholes that a human think that no one else had thought of before. So they think they get ready to be the first box in there and stuff like that. God be checking those things too, or however the case may be. Because we also got to start paying attention to what actually helps us, what actually supports us. These things is really self-serving, and it's put in a perspective like it is helping other individuals, but it's helping other individuals be spiritually in greed in some way, or spiritually be mischievous and manipulative and stuff like that, in order to create their own sheltering system because they lack it, aka developing your own creative instinct that you can express, and other individuals could, you know, gravitate towards and inspire them to do the same thing in their own way based upon their particular and their particulars and their expertise and stuff like that. So we gotta allow everybody to have their grace. But at the same time, you know, this is what's going to be judged as far as the character and the reasoning behind these things. So when the moon going to Leo, that's the world that we're going to be in. Now, how it's going to look is going to look opposite. It's going to look like Aquarius, the energy we already in right now. So what does that mean? The world we in is Leo, but it's going to look like, and how we go about it, and the actions, and how we view other things, and how people may view us. If you got a square energy to Aquarius, maybe Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, Scorpio, and things of that nature, you might be opposite to Leo, Aquarius in this energy. You're supposed to be the representation of what to do or what not to do. But for the most part, it's going to look like Aquarius. Aquarius is dealing with fixed air, being fixated on your own way of thinking and communicating. So this could be separating from energy or adding on your idea to it, but not necessarily for it to be mutable, aka relatable or accepted, or to add on and separate from more on a percentage scale of your own individual input on it, and not too initiative, bringing in something new and things of that nature to see if it's creating balance or not, or there's some form of forceful energy that creates some balance just because there's a form of injustice in that way, in shape or form. So that'd be cardinal air, Libra. Then there's a mutable air, Gemini, where you're just trying to add on to it or change something up, but not necessarily initiate something new or be fixated in your own viewpoint, where if it's too negative on a percentage scale, it can be seen as stubbornness. If it's positive, it can be seen as consistent, because that predictability energy perceives to be working, and it worked previously, so it could work current and in the future. And we give hypotheticals around it and see if procedures may work or whatever the case may be. So this would make Aquarius revolutionary. That's the fixed air quality of how the case may be. And that's how Leo is going to look as the moon being Leo. We're going to be reacting and responding to our character, how we see things, right? How we want to express ourselves, but it's going to be open for judgment, aka devil's advocate. Even when you like kind of like self-mirroring yourself, you ain't even looking in the mirror, but you like seeing your character, what you should express, how you should feel, how you should see things, how you see others. Then you cultivate that before you start to construct. That's how you're going to act upon that day towards those people that you probably was adding in your mind to put that together or whatever the case may be. So you may even see yourself in like a devil's advocate type of way where normally you didn't, like you was just doing things, going about your day. Now you're going to be sitting back and be like, I wonder how I'm seen in this way. You know what I'm saying? Then you start putting yourself in other people's shoes in your mind and stuff, and try not to do that too far, because for the most part you could be sitting on gold and then start to think how another person think because of their actions. And here's the thing, right? Everybody don't give you the 100% understanding of how they see you and stuff like that, and vice versa. So you might have done something that was very good, but you didn't get the reciprocation that you probably sit in the back thinking that you should get to validate that is good or whatever. Now the people that you're putting that eggs in a basket in front of in order to have that support, since they didn't express those kind of energies you made up in your mind, you're starting to think for them based upon the actions and the experience that you had around them and stuff like that. And now you're coming up with more on a percentage scale of the negative ideas that you think that they're having, other than a person probably wasn't ready to tell you, or probably just didn't have a situation, or probably just wasn't the vibe to play out in the way that you imagine it because you ain't the other people that you're leaning for that support on, or however the case may be. Then here you go starting to play out actions that lead into small portions of self-sabotaging, right? You start doing things to like a spiritual tit for tat, do things in opposite of what create the situation to be normal of how you're relating to these individuals, just to see with that little naked spot that you create that's different than the familiar spots that was filled in, to see what different actions that they take, so you could kind of pull for that, so you could justify how they probably felt about something. Then the more you go down that train of thought and line of reasoning, you're actually causing things. So here's where that situation where you thought you was a victim and you actually become a victim. You thought something was your fault and you actually made it your fault. You thought something was wrong with you and you actually created it, manifested it. Now something is wrong with you. Now you is the one with the problem. You see what I'm saying? And then you'll be doing so many things to try to get that out of them, then in a manipulative eighth house type of way, in a way that is not obvious, because you really just want to know how they felt about something that wasn't apparent when they expressed it, and you made up something in your mind to think that that was the way they were supposed to show it, to validate it. Then you didn't put so many other potholes that was negative in it. Whatever you did want to know is out the window now. The thing that you felt for you to play that tit for tat actually came true. And what you thought probably that wasn't even the case became the case now. And you made a small fish in a pond bigger than what it actually was. You made a small problem bigger than what it should have been. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times we go through this naturally, but this is on a high percentage scale emphasis for everybody to go through once the moon go into Leo. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be the full moon that we experience. So you got to make sure you're fulfilled on the way you express yourself. Anytime there's a new and a full moon, it points us to, are we fulfilled or unfulfilled? So if you are fulfilled, you're not going to be doing things during the time of the full moon to put you in that space of feeling like you're not sure of how someone feel about something that you have expressed, or some creative attribute, or how someone feel about something, and your own fixated stubborn way about feeling about something because it's Leo energy. And you may have a negative way of even dealing with that if you're a square sign, Scorpio, you know what I'm saying, Taurus, or if you're the opposite Aquarius, or if you're in conjunction and things of that nature, Capricorn or Pisces, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So you might be in a situation where you don't know that the character is being judged, or it's just in an energy of, if you're not fulfilled, that means you have done things, but there's too much unsurety energy out there through the lens of people, places, and things that you may be imagining yourself, and you're going to start to play that tit for tat energy to see if they feel that way or not. Now you're acting out on the negative side of the universe, the Leo energy, why the moon is full in Leo. So that full, what they call that orgasm horizon, that water is all going to pour in your life as chaotic. your emotion with all that emotion from everybody else as a team in the moon. So it's going to be too chaotic for you, too much emotional enticement, and then that manifests as circumstances and situations. And then for the most part, it could be a situation that get out of hand. And this is how accidents happens, death happens, things that didn't go in your favor happens, wrong place, wrong time happens during the full moon. So it's not necessarily the moon being in a sign. It's something that we're all experiencing, just like you plant a seed and a tree grow. It's just on broader scales. This is one of the ways that you can anchor that knowledge and decipher it. You know what I'm saying? Astronomy, astrology, and how it interacts on our anatomy, understanding how the mind works and how it's connected with the world, not separating these things. You see what I'm saying? Because you in this world, right? So you want to learn how it's connected more throughout the time if you're studying about agriculture or your body and physics and astrophysics and your body and stuff like that. You want to pay more attention to how something connected than being in the spectrum of how something is disconnected. How something is not connected is only after you find something is connected. So you're trying to depict something apart. You're trying to dissect a rat in science class or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But that's after something already together. Oh, how the brain work, how the heart work, after it's already together and it was a functioning, well-oiled running machine being with all of the parts together. So we have to learn how, when we may learn something after something already together, get more intellectual, left-brained about it by separating from the condensity of it and getting more into the lesser layers, the masculine side of it, aka dissecting something. Then we might learn something intelligent, but then start putting the cart before the horse. Taking the knowledge of B and C and replacing it with, this is what starting point is. This is where A at. And then we'll be trying to describe A with the context of B and C. And this is how y'all got into religion faulty at times. This is where a lot of faulty science and about astronomy and astrology come from, about heliocentric and stuff like that, and is re-rotating or not. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that come on from wrong starting points. You know what I'm saying? And it's important for us to be intelligent whether we have been flushed out through the education system or not. That's why this is I'm here for the hood too, because this makes you have an intelligence being in the hood, but then don't make you doubt education, and then even make you want to jump in education, because now you can have your footprints in the sand in there. So now there's not a bias no more. You're in the hood, you don't know nothing, F that. Or you in education, oh, F street smarts, ain't nobody from the hood, this is the right way. Now you got some equilibrium knowledge here. Somebody who ain't got education, but somebody who's very street smart and went down the right train of thought and line of reasoning, and then part of my lineage also allowed me to know that that's what ultimately blends in into the book smart or whatever the case may be. So never lose hope. You see what I'm saying? Never lose hope. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of stuff that a person will waste more of their time, especially from the hood, waste more of their time doing other things due to the fact of, you know, you're supposed to learn this thing, but due to the fact of no one else doing it, there's no one motivating you to do it. Then if you do it, it seems like you alone, and you got to fight 2 to 3 other type of battles than someone else in that same position, but maybe in a different living condition than you, or whatever the case, and might got more access to maybe who they know or whatever, right? That alone allows you to take a whole nother route and make up things in your mind how that's more important. And a lot of times when you're in the hood, it'd be stuff like set it off and bank robbing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And thank God for YouTube and stuff like that. And a lot of other stuff, because that could be a starting point for individuals who may lack other areas, and then you just be like, oh, forget all that. I ain't even get to do all that. It's a lot of times people, cousins, other relatives went to college, but they haven't seen the fruition of it to 4 to 5 years later. So that alone, I'll be like, yeah, I understand you did that, but I ain't got 5 years to waste and stuff like, you see what I'm saying? And that alone allowed the relative to be like, F that, I'd rather just rob banks right now, or whatever the case, or whatever, and hopefully you become my relative lawyer and get me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, the crazy stuff, a lot of stuff we all from the hood come up with. You know what I'm saying? But going through these energies right now, you need to be aware that the character is going to be judged, and Aquarius energy is how it's going to look. So it's going to be devil's advocate. So whatever you do, especially if you're in a relationship right now, there's heavily emphasis on tit for tat. So try, if you can, play out that, because look, here's the thing: when you're in a spiritual ship, not a relationship, y'all know when y'all get ready to reach that tip for tat energy. The tip for tat energy is this: your spiritual space. You always alone in that area. So yeah, we want to create our first body, our mind, and connect that sex, the joining of two energies to create another one. Then the physically being around others and doing things with. But after a while, the spirit is fulfilled in that area and it needs fulfillment. That don't have nothing to do with something being filtered through the bias to be considered negative or positive. And then even when your spirit needs space, you don't know how to do it because you think you're doing the wrong thing in areas where it may be the right thing, and your way to have to do it may be wrong just to get it right. So a lot of times when you're in a spiritual ship, y'all already know that y'all get ready to reach a space, whether you're in a partnership with other individuals, same sex, or in a partnership with your relationship partner, different sex, and we reach that area a lot faster because y'all live together and things of that nature, right? When you're in a spiritual ship, you start to realize, all right, our first body, we already connected and fulfilled so much that our physical body is a lot of things that we're tired of that's going to play out in areas that we really ain't tired of. It's just that's the only way we're going to be able to compare and contrast and interact negatively towards each other that actually might cause a tear down of our foundation in some way, shape, or form. So once y'all realize that, you'll be like, okay, it's time to take a break because our spirit needs a space. So both of our mental things that we're connecting together that manifested to all these materializing things that got us connected that we really don't want to tear down, but it'll be the only thing that we'll look at to know to fight with, because our mind is our first body, and that needs separation at the moment because our spirit is inside of it, and the spirit always wants its own space to fulfill new things. When y'all both know that, y'all already know that, oh, we getting ready to get mad at each other for petty stuff at the moment. I wouldn't even get mad at you because you got your feet up on a coffee table. Or I wasn't even mad because you drunk the last drink of milk or what. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting mad like that now. That's when y'all, before it even lead even further, and then it'd be like a no point of return. It could become a bridge burning situation, right? Because too many situations play out without y'all knowing that. And then the physical situations that keep y'all there that y'all arguing with, it still keep y'all there to create the other frustration. If y'all don't know that's what's going to be the train of thought and line of reasoning, the relationship could go bad when they don't even have to. But it'll be a bad event, and if it ain't too bad, that event in the physical was the explosion. Y'all gave birth to that situation, and what it was the one without the child one, a situation itself, and that spirit still need to be born. So all those spirits that y'all was bringing flying off in that situation is over, and possibly the physical representation. That situation separated y'all because all the things that was in between y'all, the mind, the physical, and all the situations and all the spirits and all the bodies got y'all separate. Once it exploded, that physical ramification was that time y'all spent separate from each other, and that's what y'all spirit really wanted to do anyway. Y'all can catch that before y'all built too much animosities within a relationship that still may go negative even if it ain't do that bad the first time. And you ain't got to experience that at all. So when other people go bad, y'all already know that, and y'all know the starting point in the spirit world where that always lead as a starting point. So y'all know how to stop it at point A before it leads to point B, where people get confused if they didn't learn where it's at and where it started at point A before it even get to point C. Therefore, you'll be the one to be able to teach people relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because you're helping people have a spiritual relationship. And when people have a spiritual relationship, then that's them being able to do something with themselves. And that leads into other areas. When a person know how to do that, they end up finding the ways how to love themselves, figure out ways how to be mad at themselves in areas. So therefore, when you're transmuting it inside, you're a magician. So when you know how to love yourself, you know how to love others. When you know how to hate yourself, you know how to not steer that hate towards things that's unwarranted because you didn't find the things you hate about yourself to destroy that internally. So now you ain't got no anger inside you and things of that nature, or the insecurity amount of energy that you don't have to put on it, or whatever the case may be. So it even plays out that spiritually. When you spiritually know yourself, you end up being able to surround yourself or know how to look for that in others who went through that same journey. So you know what it looked like because you know what a person is acting upon and how much they expressing and giving and how much they keeping to themselves when it comes to love. When you don't know how to do that, you a person who don't know how to build love for yourself. You finding or trying to find others who know how to build love for themselves, hoping that they can give you that juice, that inner gold, or whatever the case. So you'll start to play out energies that you think that they like externally, because internally, you know that's the path that they on to develop that love energy. So you will play representations of things you think they love. But when you don't got it, you become a manipulating individual. And then you become an individual that takes and drain them and take advantage of them and make them like a spiritual ghost, then they need to get their love back from you. They feel like a piece of them is gone forever because you take the love that they gave you and then run away and go see if you can get that same thing from other individuals and stuff. And then when it don't work, you try to circle back to that person and see if you could do it again. And then everybody, this how hurt people in a way that it ain't got nothing to do with physically. And then you'll be having people thinking, oh, maybe this person gonna change again. That person ain't changing nothing but they spiritual diaper. They on the same bullshit. They changing their spiritual diaper. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to get fulfilled again. And you the lucky fool who hit the lottery ticket. That's it. And that's it. And that's really it. So you got to pay attention. So these energies goes beyond astrology and stuff like that. It's just about day-to-day stuff. But if you know how to tap in the way God is built in the world, the mental world and stuff like that, this makes you a more evolved species. You know what I'm saying? And when you get in that more evolved species realm, you don't want to get out of that, because you start to see what you're learning is helping you with day-to-day life that you was already experiencing. You just was experiencing as a small spirit. You was experiencing it as a lesser spirit, not no good quality big spirit. You know what I'm saying? Where you can wake up and be like, I got this. Okay, I got this. I got this. No matter what you're going through and stuff like this. Okay, I got this. I got this. And I ain't alone. Even when it feel like I'm alone. No, I ain't alone. The spirit's all around me right now. And if I'm close to God, I'm close to the God spirit. Okay, I got this. I got this. We got this. And you start saying, we got this. And then you could be alone. And then you get in that energy for a long time. You catch that habit. Then God be fruitful. God put you around a whole bunch of people and stuff like that. But God be so, man, God is so beautiful with that energy and stuff like that. You might still keep saying we. Even when you're around other people and stuff and you talking about something about yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, I got this. We get it. Who you talking about and stuff? Because you describing to people what you just did and the creative gifts you just got and stuff like that. You keep saying we and stuff. And then that's when you end up being that spirit to tell other spirits, yeah, stop reading that part of the Bible saying you a God. You ain't no God, dude. You ain't God. You know what I'm saying? Angels don't even talk like that. You hearing it from the horse's mouth. We don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? We smarter than you. And we don't run around talking like that. You know what I'm saying? So that should give you a hint. That should give you a hint. You ain't nothing. And start taking a pride to that. Because you will understand that deeply. It's like y'all look at words backwards. Nothing. Separate the thing and a no. You're no thing. You're trying to find an ego and a word for it all the time, but your spirit is always going to do what it do anyway. You just don't praise the spirit world of it before it become the word. You're nothing. Appreciate that, because you're no thing, because you're always on a journey to become something that's one of a kind. So with your no thing spirit body, you create a mind body, and that becomes something. And it's always important for you to be that individual one of a kind blade of grass, one of a kind snowflake, one of a kind marble, one of a kind crystal, one of a kind Masonic Hedgehog gem, or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? That's your responsibility. You, as no things, when we create something, no things, we're souls, individual spirits, and our objective is to create something. Think sums of things, and make your job and duty is to make sure it's one of a kind as best possible, because can't nobody be one of a kind better than God. God did it best. God the best one of a kind creator. You can't never mimic that. You can only be something like it. You could never be it. So your whole journey is to try to do something similar. Since something did that before you, your best job is to try to do something like it. Keyword, like it. You a liking. You a monkey. You a werewolf. You a Doberman pigeon. You know what I'm saying? But try your best. Maybe you can start looking like beautiful angels one day, humans one day. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause y'all ain't quite human yet, but y'all getting there. Y'all getting there. Y'all getting there. And I've been seeing it too. Everybody been getting more intelligent, especially Europeans. I've been sitting back like, damn, watching new, like, all right, people get smarter. Even with the lies, everybody get more intelligent. Everybody calm down, start using their mind more. Everybody. That's what's up. Game bangers and stuff, everybody. Like, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? We in a new time. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But we evolving. And the first thing that evolve is the mind, then it condenses and become the blood flow. So for the most part, when it gets into your character right now, beyond that or whatever, make sure that's right, your mind right, because you're going to be able to decipher whatever character you get ready to express. F is going to be the right thing that's up for judgment with this devil advocate energy, aka Aquarius. Everybody want to talk, but it's fixed air energy. So everybody might not say what they feel or what they think, and that might drive you crazy, even if you're not a Leo, with the moon being a Leo. Because if you're in that space of being unfulfilled, you're going to be acting out trying to get fulfilled, wrong place, wrong time. And emotion is going to be too high that lead into actions that might be out of hand or whatever the case may be. Now, if you are fulfilled, you won't find yourself having to over exaggerate or be in people's faces or overdo something to see if it's actually that based off response. And that could be anything. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all in relationships, all the way down to dealing with y'all children. I got a daughter and stuff like that, right? It might be something that you do that they like or whatever the case, and they might not show the facial expression or you know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of y'all fast food kings and queens and stuff like that without even a burger in front of it. It don't matter what y'all going to and stuff like that. Y'all go to Dairy Queen and get a burger like Burger King or whatever, right? And then, you know, they didn't jump for joy like they did last week. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. Here you go, get ready to try to make up a chore that ain't even a chore that week. You know what I'm saying? The dishes ain't even that week, or the dining room floor ain't even that week, or something like that. But you try to see if they appreciate it because the left elbow ain't move as jolly as it moved last week. No, I'm saying so now you might, if you don't know, the kid might be happy as hell. Your daughter, your child, your son might be happy as hell. You know what I'm saying? Your kid, but like here you go, get ready to, oh yeah, I'm about to go ahead and maybe next week they ain't even about to get it next week. And so, you know what I'm saying? You gonna build all this negative animosity and stuff like that. So you got to be careful. Just like the characters get judged. You could over exaggerate being a parent right now. So, you know what I'm saying? Kid don't know what they did. You build unnecessary trauma and stuff like that. They thinking about that for the next 10, 15, 20 years. They can't wait till they get in a better position to cuss you out. They like 20 years later in life, they in a better position. They start cussing you out for stuff that ain't even got nothing to do with that. You ain't never know it comes from that though. Deep down inside as a spirit, when they talk to their best friends and their auntie and their drunk uncle and stuff like that. I say you ain't never know that's really what it all was about and stuff like that. They just came over and start cussing you out about your crib and stuff like that. No, I got something all about that day 16 years ago. You know what I'm saying? December 2nd, 16 years ago. Oh, better than that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta be gay. Don't be scarring y'all kids. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all don't know how to put yourselves in your own shoes and stuff like that. Think about you. Whatever I just said, exactly what you did over 100 times already with your adult funky. Oh, better than that. And I'm the spiritual grandfather, grandmother, father, madam. So all y'all elders, that's why grandparents F with me and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they like, dang, he get to say something to the age group of everybody that's my descendants and stuff like that. And I wish I could say, but I got to be the bigger person, the bigger spirit. You know what I'm saying? Nah, sometimes y'all grandparents be wanting to say, well, I'm not y'all. I don't even know y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Especially depending on what side they on. Because y'all don't know what I dealt with, but y'all saying y'all probably dealt with lighter stuff, especially with side of is on and stuff like that. It was, man, they start thinking like, I don't know who that heifer was fucking. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, grandparents don't be, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't be knowing like, that's whose grandkid? My grandkid. Oh, I just know them from up the street and stuff like that. They just raised around. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all don't be knowing what's going on. Y'all phony. Y'all like for real. Y'all ain't even real like that. That's one thing I be realizing with y'all. Y'all be phony as heck. Y'all be thinking to yourselves. Y'all be going to places and stuff like that. Y'all be claiming best friends that ain't y'all. Y'all be claiming cliques that ain't y'all. Y'all be claiming narratives that ain't y'all. Y'all be doing all kind of stuff. Y'all be just all lost all over the place. And then y'all want to wake up and be like, oh yeah, that wasn't my father and stuff like that. My mother just told me that was my father. And you been knew that. Y'all say you been knew that wasn't Uncle Jimmy. You been knew that was, you know what I'm saying? You know that wasn't Uncle Jimmy. You been knew. You know what I'm saying? You been knew that was homeboy you went to high school with, goddamn uncle or father or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They had nothing to do with you, nobody in your bloodline and stuff like that. Talking about Uncle Jimmy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Your mother told you that was Uncle Jimmy. He was part of the family and stuff like that. You done met him. You done seen him over your friend house when you start going to junior high. So you're like, hold on, wait, I thought this was Uncle Jimmy and stuff. Uncle Jimmy, your homeboy's dad and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it be messed up in the hood. It be messed up. It be messed up, man. It be messed up in the hood. For real. It be messed up. Like, y'all be in situations all over the place. And it be scarring. It be scarring. So when you get older, you start seeing other people. Like, you start getting in high school and stuff like that. And this and that. Like, and I'm not, y'all think I'm speaking personal. I ain't speaking personal. But yeah, y'all get, I seen this. Like, I seen this. Y'all get older and stuff like that and stuff. Y'all start picking fights with people y'all think in better positions than y'all. Y'all be like, wait a minute. Oh, his mother got that job or whatever the case may be. His father don't be over his dude house fucking his mother and stuff like that. Like, y'all start thinking like that. Then y'all start building that as a reason to start picking fights and stuff. Y'all start building that. Y'all be in all kind of circumstances. I be seeing it. I'll be seeing it. Y'all be all kind of stuff. But yeah, just be aware. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, everybody gonna be in an energy where, you know what I'm saying, your character, the way you express yourself, or how you see things, or what you set the stage for people to see, or whatever the case may be, will be talked about. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to find yourself doing that also. And here's the thing. We got online right now in content creation. So be careful not to be a crash out online right now, because what you may hear and how people may talk about it may not be what you like. And let's say you're the type of person that's lost in narratives and stuff like that. It ain't going to go on your way. Like, people not going to think about it that way. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be sitting back like, nah, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Nah, you did it for other purposes. So that takes us into, we can just read certain topics. Now, we got a lot of, like, retardation going on and stuff like that, because we got, Ray J illness, Kanye West apology, Nicki Minaj scandal, if you want to call it that, Lloyd Banks versus Fabulous. I don't even get in. I don't even get into streamers, but I don't understand it. But this got something to do with the continent, the music industry in shambles, and things of that nature. So this is a lot of things that we seeing too right now that may be a little that if these was made on narratives, right? It's not going to go in the way that the objectory was. So we got to understand that too right now. So don't forget, like, we ain't even got no earth energies going on right now. So whatever someone using an excuse for money right now, just like Kanye West apology or whatever the case may be. And then he's saying that he had a mental illness or whatever. Nah, like, this is for some money, and people going to point to that, and it ain't going to make no sense, because we ain't dealing with no earth energy. Nicki Minaj, she going to claim whatever she did. They're gonna do a smear campaign about, not a smear campaign, but a damage control campaign about whatever she did was about money or whatever the case. That's not gonna be a good excuse right now. Ain't no earth energies. You know what I'm saying? So people gonna be leaning more towards an opinion. It might not even be spiritual based. It might just be opinion based. So a lot of people gonna be virtue signaling right now. So a lot of people don't even feel the way they feel about whatever Nicki doing. It's just people trying to find an angle so they can push record or upload or the live button. I'm telling you, it ain't really got nothing to do with nothing. Ain't anybody, you know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with nothing and stuff like that. So y'all had a peep game too. And here's the thing, right? Even getting into certain energies, like, now I don't want to give my personal opinion on these things, but we can just make common sense out of it. Like the Kanye West apology or whatever the case may be. Why are you apologizing? Well, I'm saying, like, these be things I think about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about everybody else and stuff like that. Just the things I think about. So, like, what are you apologizing about? You know what I'm saying? I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not talking about who he apologized to. That's up to him. You know what I'm saying? He should be apologizing to Nigerians or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. But I get he apologized to what? African Americans and the Jewish community and stuff like that. But so I'm trying to think, you know what I'm saying, that, like, when somebody do something to somebody else and a person say something about it, then for the most part it's justified or whatever the case may be, and hopefully people could get along after the fact. So everything Kanye West was like crying about, he made it seem like people was doing stuff to him. So I thought that was reactionary. I didn't know he was just coming out, you know what I'm saying, and saying stuff, and that's why he apologized or whatever the case may be. So I don't get it. Like, people got to understand, we in a new world, right? Like Kanye West, he in the old world. Like, this is always the new world. Everybody coming from where they already doing stuff and coming over here to do things, and then it always switch after 150 years and stuff like that. That'd be the minor switch before everybody flush out and all the ethnic groups is this back normal again. But because there's no such thing as new ethnics, it's just washing machine cycles. So it's like Kanye West in the old world. So it's the industries the way it was in the 17 and 1800s, right? So the 18th century and the 17th century, right? The updated version of that is just like the music industry and politics and all that type of stuff, right? The way, so it's the old world, and we're in a new wild west. So Kanye West, when he thinking he's apologizing about the reason behind it, all of that is kicked up the road. All reasonings is kicked up the road. You see what I'm saying? So let's say we're thinking about Kanye West right now. His reasoning of apologizing really don't got nothing to do with what he's apologizing for. You know what I'm saying? What Kanye West is apologizing about is basically, like back in the day, they created things like artist development. This is what you're going to be used for, as far as if there's a large portion of people or your audience that think that way. You could be an anchor, or you could be what became a voodoo doll, but you're going to be the spokesperson for it, or whatever the case may be, right? So when it gets into that space, other reasons is involved, right? Stuff like, is you good and bad? Is you good or bad for a brand or not? Based upon whatever a brand is substantiated on, or the way you was making money over here, is you rubbing good elbows the right way here or not, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the apology is more on a percentage scale of things that deal with synthetic stuff or GMO or the old world. So I'm saying, so in the new world, no one actually know what you apologizing for. Now, let's say we going through a new shift in the new world, right? Yeah, fire, water, air, earth. Fire, the idea. Water, the emotion. Air, the thought. And the communication. Earth, the reality of it. And the law, the linguistics, right? That's tore down. Same type of mechanism. Fire, water, air, and earth. Same type of substance. Different shift now. Now we're in a new fire, water, air, and is now reaching this rooted earth seed stage, or whatever the case. So yeah, it might still seem like you're doing the same thing, but it's different reactions, different results. So we're still using the mind, the same substance, but it's a different shift, different results, different mathematical precisions, different angles, different ways of seeing things. Even you may feel different of doing the way you express something, the way you may have expressed it before 2016. For an example, there was ways of people having album rollouts that was working 2 or 3 times before that seemed shaky, that you try to see if it worked now. And even if it does seem like it worked, it still wasn't at the maximum altitude due to the fact of all the things that was in between, like number infiltration, AI, number manipulation. You know, ever since Jay-Z said numbers lie, men lie, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That's when they started lying about numbers and stuff. So, right? A lot of other things had to play out that you don't know how to put the two together because you're not with God to sync things. The whole reason people have to start justifying selling 100,000 records is good in today's time is because of what I just explained, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, your rollout still worked. You still ain't selling as enough records and having as many people come to your concerts or buying your merchandise as you did before 2016 or Axe Drake. You know what I'm saying? So all the theatrics is one thing, but the theatrics is there for a reason. Where we're shifting through in the mind first. And then for the most part, that just represent where we all at spiritually. And where we all at spiritually in a different space. So the mind state, the esoteric swimming pool, esoteric current world we in, is going through a different direction, different mathematical precision stuff like that. So for the most part, we gonna try to think we in the same thing because it's still mind, it's still water, esoteric waters, holy waters, but it just ain't going in the same direction. I don't care how much you try physically. So for the most part, you know what I'm saying? That's Kanye West dealing with a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? But morally, if someone do something to you and you lash out, it's people on their own. No one else is involved. Y'all come to agreements or not, that's on y'all. They ain't got nothing to do with nobody else or whatever, and y'all handle that on your own. And then God's supposed to see and how everybody else supposed to deal with their situation. There's a common objective way of how to deal with a situation. People supposed to get over it, and whoever not getting over it, you got to deal with that in God. You know what I'm saying? Because why ain't you getting over something if y'all came at the table and there's something, and that's y'all business, being men and women. You see what I'm saying? We in that type of time. So it's like, yeah, you could try to make it make sense of why Kanye West apologizing. Oh, this is that, and this is not a way you're supposed to be seen in public. But we at a time where celebrity concept itself, no one cares about. We done brought all the stars, inverted them, brought them right back down to earth, as I've been doing ever since I started YouTube and stuff like that. This is gonna be an even playing ground. You're gonna be able to use some imaginary concept to make you think you somebody you ain't, and your talent ain't that either. And I'm not just talking about Kanye West. I'm just saying a lot of people have to understand that too. A lot of people get it's like manipulated construct talent. You know what I'm saying? Where it be 100 other people around involved and stuff like that. You ain't talented like that. You got set up to look like something for people who are actually talented, and you was just the first person that could tap dance. You know what I'm saying? For it. That a lot of times it be that. That's like 90% of the industry. So we got a peep game of that too. You know what I'm saying? But even when it comes to Kanye West, me personally, my opinion, I don't see where Kanye West is talented. He can't dance, he can't sing, he can't rap, and he barely can make a beat. Any beat, I guarantee any beat Kanye ever made exactly by himself, with no Mike Dean, without his A&Rs around him, because he had a mother that was already in college, and you know college is colonization. You know what I'm saying? So you're just a foreigner already. So just because you born somewhere don't mean you from somewhere. If you a whole different ethnic and you're not mixed with European or nothing, then you definitely not from here. You're just a foreigner. That's why your parents might be in college and stuff like that. But when they get into Kanye West specifically, I guarantee every beat he ever made by himself never got rapped on. He probably only rapped on it himself, and him and his rap career didn't take off when he was doing that. You see what I'm saying? So you got a peep game. He wasn't like me. He don't know how to come up with something yourself. Everybody online right now is doing what I'm doing, what I created, and try to make it a business about something. But for the most part, I don't see where Kanye West is talented. I just see Kanye West like an industry plant. You got high percentage scale industry plants, middle class, middle scale industry plants, and lower class industry plants. Lower class industry plants, sometimes they could get confused with people who ain't industry plants because they both had to get it their own way. It's just the industry plant that become one start accepting and doing things and going through doors that the one person may not do, that came from the same place and stuff like that. So that'd be like a Jay-Z. Then you get like the middle class industry plant. They just know someone, they ain't really that talented like that, but someone around them or a bucket hat is the Shang Tsung and got the ear to the street or something like that, and Shang Tsung everybody else talent and just give it to that person, right? And then so that person could kind of get away with it because they from there, but they ain't quite got the potent intensity themselves, the grit themselves. Then you got the high percentage scale industry plant, Vanilla Ice, Drake, the whole everything crafted. The lyrics ain't theirs, the posts ain't theirs, the steering, the direction ain't theirs, how they supposed to feel, where they're coming from, and their story ain't really theirs. Everything is made to please other. J. Cole in that too. J. Cole is in the middle of middle class industry plant and high class industry plant. You know what I'm saying? They got good at it over the years after the 1970s and stuff like that. They got real good at it after the R&B people and the early 1900s, where they have to figure out how to do all the drug dealers and the game bangers that was the last of the Mohicans. Rest in peace to the Mohicans and the ones that, shout out to the ones that's still here, right? That the government just had to figure out how to do something with it once they got something for free. You know what I'm saying? Like the last little spark of that before it got fully colonized was what the government, feds, and the CIA did to DJ Drama and with the mixtapes and stuff like that. You can't start getting too much free money and you just the people, you know what I'm saying, without colonists involved. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? You'll have, that's why you gotta look at agents sometimes too. It be people that's your own kind. The moment they try to force y'all to, like that fake Black Panther shit that look, you know what I'm saying? The moment y'all got people out here that try to force y'all to do too much stuff, they work for the agents. Because everybody know that colonists create situations to stop you from doing that. That's the whole point. So anybody trying to motivate you to do that, they just some smoke screen for the CIA to see who all think like that. So whoever think like that, who ain't in that spotlight, yo ass the one who get ready to get attacked or get put in jail or end up missing or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It's the rapture. It's like like they steal my people culture and try to do it in reality. So, like, this how God do it, and this how I teach it. This how my culture teach it. What the rapture is, because that's not in the Bible. The word ain't in the Bible, but the concept. If a group of spirits, God is a personal God. You could think like someone even if you don't know them. You rob a bank and y'all in different cities. We all know robbing bank. We just gonna use jail and people, because we know people created jail, but we using this for something simple, right? Or people who don't think straight and walk off a bridge and fall and kill themselves or something like that. You could be in multiple countries, but spiritually have your own mind, spaceship, connected with other people in the spiritual world, but physically y'all in different locations. Mentally in the spiritual world, y'all in the same location. Your spaceship connected with theirs because y'all in the spiritual same space. That's where we all connect at. That's all y'all spaceships come together, create a warship. Now y'all on a plane of existence. But that plane of existence itself, that crazy way of thinking, or that suicidal thinking, or that bank robbing thinking, goes in the same direction. So whether you know that person physically or not, in the spirit world you do, and y'all all going in the same direction. Or however the case may be, right? So for the most part, that I had a point. Let me not miss my point. But that lets you know when you're on the wrong path. You rob a bank and y'all in different cities. I don't know. Your ass the one who get ready to get attacked. Yeah. So for the most part, that's a rapture. It ain't God doing it itself. It's the mechanism of the world, and God went through that first. So it's a way of thinking. And if you think more like God, you know not to be in a situation that leads to a catastrophic situation. And then when you're closer to God, that's you had that conversation other than someone, a family friend or associate that fell short to that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Or coworker. Or whatever the case may be. So that's how God judged you, because you wasn't judging the situation that God have done before you. God have experienced swimming before you. You had to learn how to swim. Walking that street and not having a thought of a deer or a human like you. So when you on that street, or when you're having that similar experience, if you ain't have a thought like God, you're not going to be able to get out of that situation that lead to a negative situation. Or everybody who think like that to rob a bank lead up in jail. Everybody who think like that end up off a cliff like Jezebel, and jump off a roof on Constantine, or whatever the case may be. So that's God judgment. Now when you got humans doing that, right, it has to be based off pattern. It's a synthetic way. So let's say if I create a religion, or let's say it's something I don't like, but I created a system of bargaining and gain, or bribery, right? So for the most part, I got to use something I created out of negative energy anyway, because I'm trying to control you. So it's something I don't like, but you think I like it because I put some bribery energy there. I don't like rap, but for me to get rid of rap, I can put everybody, round them up like Call of Duty and put them in a box. So since they believe it so much, it's their God. So let me listen to everything they like about it so I could know how to come in all that faulty love ways, that fake synthetic way, then replace it with my God, this bribe system. In this case, let's say if it's money. Trump gold card. I got the spiritual gold card, so I already got the spiritual rights on this land to be accepted in the spiritual world. You know what I'm saying? From the Trump's ancestors. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, boom. I put some money there and I create a system where it looks favorable. Now, the person that like it, that I pick, do what I like to get the money. Now I can sit back and see everybody that like doing this thing I don't like through the filtering system of this person. Then I can put this person on a bunch of stages to see how many I can round up. I can put, let's see how many people who like Oprah like this rapper. Let me see how many people who like Joe Rogan like this rapper or whatever. So I'll put them on Joe Rogan. I'll put them on Oprah. I'll put them on Jenny Craig. I'll put them on Ozempic. You know what I'm saying? I put them on the K-Bot plan. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I'm getting all the kids now. I'm getting everybody. I'm getting all the soccer moms and stuff like. I hit that bitch with the laser. Looking at all the comments and stuff like that, and motivating it as best as possible and stuff like that. Now I say, let me have I want to have a concert at the World Trade Center and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Start playing with tarot cards and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, maybe have it at the Jeep Center or something like that. Hey, Jeep Cherokee, that sound good. Jimmy, that sound good. Don't it, Jeep Cherokee? You know what I'm saying? Boom, and then boom. Make sure a plane crashing that motherfucker. Oh, that. You ain't got Michael Jackson no more. Michael Jackson disappeared somewhere on a tree next to a koala bear. About 3-4 birds got killed by one stone and stuff like that. About goddamn 20 people's children that got hurt and stabbed in the neck at the Travis Scott concert. The Travis Scott at the time, Michael Jackson disappeared with a koala bear in the tree, you know, so high off liquid morphine or something like that. And some bucket ass somewhere still rich. The kids get ready to get rich again. That's it. Shout out to Duncan. Shout out to Duncan. These are the days of our lives, our lives, of our lives, of our lives. These are the days of our lives. You gotta peep game. You know, that's the rapture. That's the rapture. Yeah, so it just don't stop in rap. You know what I'm saying? But like I said though, also when we get into and then everybody mad at Nicki Minaj going through a little scandal too. But yeah, Kanye West. He just got to know we in a different world. Going back to Kanye West, we in a different world. So whatever you apologizing about, we don't know or we don't care about. You know what I'm saying? We don't know or we don't care about. So you know what I'm saying? Like, what you apologizing for too? Like, what you do to black people? You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to ask Kanye West what he apologizing to y'all about. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do to y'all? Well, he apologizing to y'all not presenting no music. Trash anyway. You know what I'm saying? You need about like 70 people. Just like all the Jews need about 72 people to make the Septuagint or whatever the case may be. You need about 72 people in the studio for you to even drop one beat. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to hear all that trash. You know what I'm saying? It was about right when you was getting ready to drop that one album with nothing on it. You breathing and stuff like that. And in that day, we all know what you felt. You felt just like us while you in the studio. Trash. You know what I'm saying? What you doing anyway? Just put other people on it. All right, and for the most part, then you got the Nicki Minaj scandal, whatever the case may be. I mean, I guess we just see that as an example of the Democrats and the Republicans support immigrants. The end, you know what I'm saying? Nicki Minaj went against her audience, and Democrats and Republicans support immigrants. So that was the only thing that exposed. All right, Ray J illness. That could possibly be a psyop. Lloyd Banks versus Fabulous. How is this even a discussion? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people understand. During the time, Lloyd Banks was out at the time Fabulous and then was out. Fabulous was actually a label model or image they was making upcoming rappers act after or whatever the case may be. So I guarantee there was times 50 Cent even had Lloyd Banks in some type of meeting, saying, hey, we need to get you a team and we need to get you a fabulous record. We need to get you catering to the females, or we need to get you a long non-X-size Mitchell and Ness goddamn basketball football jersey with an oversized bandana with a fitted cap over it or something like that, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Like, that was a whole little image. Fabulous was a whole little get up beyond the rapping for all y'all at that time. So Lloyd Banks was in that box. Joel Santana had to fight to get out of that box. So the street backing behind Joel Santana allowed him to get out that box. Joe Button was in that box. I might have been young, but I know about energies. At that time, it was a whole conversation in meetings, in record label meetings, to get the fabulous makeup. You know what I'm saying? With the artist development. Saying that. So, and that's another thing. That's where J. Cole failed. J. Cole is a virtual Sittlin rapper. What'd that mean? Someone who don't know themselves. So they trying to please what they think other people like. So so he is something like rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm something like something. Somebody said something like that. Shout out to Glasses Malone. But he a virtual Sittlin rapper. He's just something like something. I need to be something like Nas. I need to be something like Jay-Z. I need to be, but you never like it. You never it. You know what I'm saying? I need to make a song like Jadakiss. You never can make a song though. You know, that is it. You know what I'm saying? So he like a people pleasing. So he one of them type of people that sit back and so this is what J. Cole and J. Cole team don't understand. See, y'all need real angels. Don't fight no angel. You know, you like boxing, you like throwing rocks somewhere you can't reach. I'm about to tell you your actual issue. This is your actual issue. We're going through a new shift, and you ain't spiritual enough. Maybe because you black and white, so you too confused about certain things, and you need to get a little bit more spiritual with some more people that's native to something. We're in a different world, so genuality got to be played out, right? So it don't matter what you're presenting. The reason behind it is what a person don't like. So you could do something real good physically. The reason behind it may not be good, right? So for an example, right? Let's make it make sense. J. Cole went and got DJ Clue. He rapped over some old beats, and he attacked the criticizing, right? Now, we know in hip hop, that's what you were supposed to do. So he's getting a negative backlash for it right now. Let me relate this to spirituality and us going to a new shift right now, right? Your reason behind it wasn't you just being yourself and then doing these things. Your reason behind it, every spirit could get outside of their own body and jump in their spaceship and go wherever you at and tell that you was at a round table with your team, and your motivation is the makeup of the reason. Your whole reason was, we have to listen to hear what people saying, and whatever people were saying, let's make sure we make that the topic to rap about. So now you're in a spiritual space where you got a preconcepted mannerism now. You got a presupposition. So now you attacking something other than being yourself in a synthetic way to attack it. You looking at it like it's a job now. Here's the spiritual allegory around it. Online, this goes beyond music. The mistake you made. When someone see a kink in someone's armor, it don't matter if what you're doing is justified or not. A person get ready to overdo it. That goes with trolling. That goes with anything. Talk about your mama. This is why I took my chat off. Them talk about my daughter and stuff like that. Look at Hopeman, Coleman, the comedian dude, and Anton dude, or whatever the case may be. Now here's the thing. I don't judge no man on how they go to war. So, hey, however they do, they men. You know what I'm saying? Let the best man win. Mentally or physically. Hopefully it don't lead to physically. Hopefully they know how to do it mentally and creative. And take the energy from another person. But for the most part, it's just like that. Ooh. What that made me get into anyway? That's my point. Oh yeah. So for the most part, it ain't what you're messing up. What you're not realizing, J. Cole, is you show people what bother you, And we in a new world right now where everybody online trying to make money and stuff like that. So a person is trying to find anything, virtue signal, anything. And since you're a virtual signal rapper, right, you self-reflect without knowing it because you might lack spirituality. So you're learning it from an angel. So what you're trying to protect is the mind state you created that your spirit inside of, that you're trying to protect for yourself. This is the light that every other spirit see in you that you don't see in yourself, because we all got the ability to see light in each other that we can't see in ourselves. And what you're trying to present or try to attack is actually what your makeup is for you to be in that space in the first place as a spirit, and what you're trying to cover up. So you're showing a chink in your armor, or you're showing what bother you, or whatever the case may be, and you don't have no proper way of creating a shield or a double-edged sword or about it, or whatever the case. So once you show a person what bother you, it don't matter what your physical sword you try to show, a person is going to attack what bother you. So you can say the best rhyme possible and things of that nature, but what you're rhyming about is what bother you. So a person is going to be like, oh, that ain't good enough. So you got to put yourself in a spiritual space of being a man and how women be women, where you sustain yourself and things don't bother you when you're going through something. And then people like a person who know how to deal with problems and don't let the small problem become bigger than what it is, even if it is a big problem. Because we all get through stuff. It ain't going to kill you. So that add endorsement and endorsement, whatever that word is. And then for the most part, that make people respect you more. So it's not about you caring about Kendrick Lamar feelings. It's about you going through that. And if you would have won or lost, you just went through something, and you still could be in a situation of it don't matter. Everybody go through life and then change to topics. It would have been that, but you would have left with respect. At this point, Drake got more respect than you just because he fought. You see what I'm saying? And he got ghostwriters and stuff. People willing to put a ghostwriter over you. So you just show people what bother you at this moment. And you ain't a real MC. So you got to put yourself into a situation where you is you. The way Nas made the song Rewind, because he was him. So whatever he was going through was just him and God, and pulling from the experiences he went through to make that make sense. Not you sitting somewhere saying, people gonna see me like a hip-hop artist if I could make a song like someone in hip-hop made it. And hip-hop ain't something you mimic. Hip-hop was created from people who from the streets, people from the hood, or whatever the case may be. So that's how you make up something like that, not mimic it. And if I do something like it, people will like my version of it. When you're going through things people in the hood go through beyond hip-hop, you're able to come up with these type of things all the way down to hip-hop. So that thing that a person who's trying to do something like it cherish, you don't know how to make one of these things yourself. You see what I'm saying? That's what that means. So J. Cole don't have a J. Cole record. He has a whole bunch of I think I'm doing hip-hop records. Drake don't have a Drake record. Drake got a whole bunch of I think I'm doing hip-hop. I think I'm doing R&B. I think I'm being creative records. And pretty much from 2012, every artist been like that. From Tyler the Creator, or that whole little emo wave. Tyler the Creator, all these are just gay people in real life and suburb nerds and stuff like that. That ain't about nothing. Had access to a good keyboard. Had access to good computers and stuff like that because their parents had good jobs. And ain't nothing wrong with that, but you ain't creative. Your creativity is synthetic. Your creativity is sitting somewhere mimicking something. But you can't make one of these things yourself. And you can't. It's just going to lead into trolling energy or eating a roach. You know what I'm saying? Or doing some type of controversial thing, or doing some shock value or whatever. So now we got to give excuses to your lack of talent. And then if you made enough money, we have to start justifying how that's talented. Oh, well, it ain't just a rapper. He ate a roach. And he was the first person that ate a roach. He's just the first gay rapper that tell y'all he gay and y'all don't believe it. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Got nothing to do with nothing else. You know what I'm saying? All right, then you got Coconut with Jaden Smith. The moment y'all see Cal Connaught with Jaden Smith and he cut off his dreads, for the most part, he put himself into a situation where he just let the world know he got his booty hole played with. So Cal Connaught with Jaden Smith means he got his P. Diddy get your eagle on booty played with industry credit card. Then when you get into the music industry, it's in shambles. The music industry is in shambles right now because the narrative concept is wearing off, and genuality is more received. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the music industry is failing right now. You can't make money off a narrative no more. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons why the DJ Academics and the Little Baby thing ain't taking off. It only took off that one day, but it's not taking off after that. So they're trying to add juice to it and stuff like that. You got to have talent behind it. See, the reason why even Finesse 2 Times could still not do nothing, but it still take off more than that, and whatever he's saying to Offset, because he's still putting out music. So at this point, fans and everybody in the world, we kind of have no choice but to look at numbers getting played with due to the fact of we have to justify if a person is just industryed up or not. So we're given the quality of getting a lot of album sales and views. For an example, right? This is how we looking at it. For 21 Savage to sell that many records, and even for ASAP Rocky to sell that many records, we know that they're doing better business dealings in the industry than someone else. Like, what's homeboy name? Maybe I forgot dude name. It's a lot of rappers that was doing something. He had a deep voice. I forgot his name. Rod, not Rod Wave, Rod 401 or something like that. It's a lot of rapper stuff. So it don't really got nothing to do with the streets. It's just 21 Savage made that album rollout. You know what I'm saying? And that's what 21 Savage don't understand. It don't got nothing to do with the streets, and you kind of caught with your piggy toe against the wall, right? Your spiritual back is against the wall. Your problem is you making that a rollout. And since the rollout itself wasn't really successful, the rollout was about the streets. So since you thought you was bringing the streets back and it wasn't on the billboards and stuff like that, now you have to add on to something that really was a mistake as a rollout. You are a person from the streets. So the moment you try to make money off the streets, we know that ain't really got nothing to do with you. You ain't even in the streets like that. You got that whole idea being around your managers or your assistants and just one or two people from the streets that you talk to that they too much industry plan out like that. So 21 Savage ain't in the streets like that. Don't make him believe that. Everybody got guns. Anybody can fight. You don't live in the streets though. You know what I'm saying? You ain't in the streets like that. You know what I'm saying? The way you think. Then when it comes to ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky, you could tell he's more in the industry. So you can tell people like 21 Savage, ASAP Rocky, and there's a lot of other people too. Even Lil Uzi. He don't even have a rollout. So that he's just in a position of his managers and his handlers telling him don't upload nothing. Because even if they do tell him to upload something, because too much time can't pass, they have no choice but to take his budget to infiltrate the numbers. It's too much of that manipulating numbers going on that's messing up people's money for real. And YouTube ain't gonna keep giving people free money. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna make y'all numbers start being like ours again for real. Because we the only people making YouTube real money. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, and making YouTube and content creators relax based off peer pressure about views when you don't have to worry about all that. That's stupid. So that's 21 Savage problem. Creating a rollout based upon the streets. J. Cole problem is making his rollout him being a virtual similar rapper. You just something like a rapper. You're not a rapper though. So you someone who trying to do something real good. A lot of people who played sports in high school and college think like that. You know what I'm saying?
they're people pleasers first. So they who they are is more lesser on a percentage scale in a back seat, and how well they do something, how well a job is done is higher on a percentage scale. So you may have a lot of people that's rappers now, like J. Cole, that a lot of them didn't even play sports, but they probably had like people in their life who had more money than the next door neighbor, or people like me and stuff like that. So you probably had people giving you rewards. They'll probably tell you stuff like, hey, if you get good grades, I'll do this for you. Hey, if I get you into basketball, so it ain't all on you. Like, it ain't, so even if you drop out, like, it ain't really a big deal. Like, these things ain't all on you. You got other people that got ideas for you and willing to put in a lot of actions for you to make you feel like it'll be a problem if you don't do it too. And then when you can add more of you in these areas, that you got other people in your life that do that for you too, and it's a whole cycle that y'all do that with each other. You got a lot of rappers that's like that right now. And not to say that's good or bad or whatever, it's just to say that y'all lack something. And then y'all getting paid to be in people's faces for something that don't even be people's problems. And then y'all start having to be crash out artists when y'all start not understanding the problem. And then y'all go even further with whatever y'all think y'all doing. And then y'all in positions like Kanye, or even in soft versions of this, like 21 Savage and things of that nature. So you're making faulty rollouts because you're going to a old world system. That may have worked before 2016, where, oh yeah, the streets need a face. Preacher rap need a face. Pop culture need a face. No one care about none of y'all monkey ass faces at this point. You know what I'm saying? That it ain't. So whatever y'all doing to make that world be something, here's where you're still getting checks from these people who run these corporations in this old world, but now you're getting placed into a position where it's impossible to recoup. And these people are not the creators. They're the cobalt mines. They're not the gold mines. So they didn't know how to look in the future. They just know how to take their new technology and think that they're just going to update something they're already doing, right? So they don't know how to look in the future. So they just going to do something that they already thought was working. So even when things ain't working, in their mind, since they're the funders, they still only know how to do what they thought worked. Give you 6-digit checks. Give you 7-digit checks. But we just see streamers crash out and get into car accidents and die before their time. Rappers get all this money and sell no records. Comedians get all that money and go straight to Netflix for 40 minutes. And you got whole YouTubers having to complain, and we up here with no ghostwriters, no nothing, straight off our own volition for 2 hours, 8 hours and stuff like that, getting crumbs. And we way more funnier, way more creative, engineer all our own stuff, music, make our own beats, all this type of stuff. If that ain't what it take to get these deals in the old world, to be getting these 7-digit checks, then I don't know what it is. So talent is infiltrated, where these people who got these checks that they can't even get close on a percentage scale of recouping and shit like that. They got to copy us, and we got to complain that they in our world and stuff like that, because we got all the creative talent that once upon a time, if you had the talent in our left pinky toe, y'all would have owned the whole Jive Records. Y'all would have owned the whole Interscope. Dr. Dre would have owned the whole Interscope. Y'all really ain't shit like that, for real. To be honest. To really be honest. For my live stream, I just went 1 hour and 23 minutes, and ain't no preacher in the old world deserve what they got compared to what I just did. Y'all content creators, y'all better start feeling like this. It just so happened I'm more powerful in business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. Aleister Crowley, in today's time, Elon Musk can't get up here and do this. Albert Einstein can't get up here and do this. Preachers can't get up here and do this. What's homeboy name? He be on Star Talk. I forgot his name. Neil deGrasse can't do this. Nobody. None of the presidents. It don't matter what field. I can just cross all field. If you a preacher, you can't get up here and talk about what you preach. If you some technician, you can't get up here and talk about your technician. If you a teacher, you can't even get up here and talk about why you teach. This is your job. It's like, if you a comedian, you can't get up here without no script. Kevin Hart can't get up here for an hour. Kevin Hart need a whole plan. They gotta justify it now. These just YouTubers. This is how it's supposed to look. And then they get ready to describe the old world. Sorry if you ain't know that was the old world. We're in the mental old world right now. And I raid all y'all stuff. If I want to come up here and roast every comedian, it won't be a joke you can say back to me. Face to face. And if I set up something, it'll be way better than y'all. Here's the thing. Y'all got to become YouTubers and do what I'm doing. I created this platform. So it don't even matter. You can't get up here for hours plus. You need a team to do something, and then you have to act like this how it's supposed to look. And then your handlers gonna get you a deal for 6 figures, for 7 figures, just for you to end up on Netflix and for people to watch me every day again and watch other content creators again. And then you have to make up how, no, this ain't quite funny. No, that's not quite music. No, that's not quite motivational speaking or narrative. That's not quite director. That's not quite script writing. That's not quite preaching. That's not quite being a lawyer. No, that you not quite in the new world. You don't got the new yellow iron. That's it. That's all. I'm saying. So the only thing that's getting ready to change is how y'all handlers think in their brain. Is it worth giving y'all monkey asses 6-figure, 7-figure digits? Because if they slow down on that, number manipulation will be an after effect of that. They'll stop number manipulation, and then everything will be back to normal. Then you will actually have to show your creativity, and then you won't be in so much peer pressure, even if you're only getting 1,000 views or 1,000 live stream viewers at a time. So as a comedian, that will mean something. You actually got 1,000 people in your live stream. It won't be something over exaggerated the way they making this fake celebrity, like how they keep giving Candace Owens these numbers and stuff like that, and these fake rappers numbers and stuff, right? It'll be back to normal. Because let's think about this in reality. If you was to do a show right now, the auditorium, the show, the stadium, the club is only holding 700 people. The stadium is only holding 1,200 people. The auditorium only holding about 900 people or 500, right? The Coliseum is holding about 5,000 people. The football stadium is holding about 5,000 people. So just because we all online, just as much as we didn't have online, people was willing to travel to go see their favorite people, regardless, comedian, artist, and even when they show up in a city. It's the same thing online. Y'all could try to force things in y'all algorithm all y'all won't. A person to be like not interested. People still go on the stuff that they're only going to show up to before online that they paid for a ticket for. So for the most part, handlers, please bring things back to normal. So y'all take off this peer pressure off y'allself, where y'all can be like, yeah, I ain't even gotta give y'all monkey asses that much money no more. And if everything go back to normal, things can start to build back up again. So inflation will lessen up. Then 1,000 views will mean something again. Then real people, artists, and all the way to us, the regular people. It could be even playing grounds and normal again. And then the celebrities can get that 6-figure check again for real reasons, real causes. And just you getting 1,000 in your live stream. And it being reality. Not it having to be over exaggerated. Then it only hurt y'all handlers. Don't be mad at the messenger, right? Because you know it only hurt you. You have to make this person feel like your puppet feel like they're in the same position, right? So you still got to create the budget out of your own baking bucket hat account, right? You still got to give them 6 figures because they got to go to the K-Bots. They got to go to this. They got to go make sure they're on Oprah. Make sure they're on this and things of that nature. And then at the end of the day, who's struggling? The artist still complaining You came out more of your pocket than you supposed to, and then you constantly gonna have people on our own that's on their own volition. People like me and other content creators getting it how we live in new ways that eventually you got to cut another check with your puppet to start copying in us. And then it gets even worse, because now here we are now in the new world west. The new wild west. Now we just going to war. We all just going through mental war right now. Fighting over terrain. And don't come to the Northwest Territory, because y'all know it's already sold up. You a rapper? No, you ain't. You ain't the best rapper alive no more in the Northwest Territory. That goes for Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Chicago, all the way down to the Mississippi River. I'm the best rapper alive. I'm the highest conscious, the highest knowledge, or whatever the case may be. Politics. I'm the most intellectual, whatever the case may be. Spiritual. I'm more beyond religion, or whatever the case may be. Business. You should come through me. We create a whole new confederation, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only terrain over here. I'm the only terrain over here. Anything else don't even make sense. I said, don't even make sense. This is Linen Anape Hoken, Macatella Mini Hoken, Ohiho World. I'll say Kakuski, Keski, Pelisepi. Shanwanwaki. I'm saying Southside. And all further than that, this is a whole different world over here. So that whole different paradigm. So whatever y'all talking about and stuff like that is phony. I'm saying, even when it comes to y'all might could pull that off East Coast or whatever. As soon as it start coming over here, or South or the West Coast, as soon as it start coming over here, it don't make no sense no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about, you can think you the best rapper in the world. You can think you Nas. You ain't better than me. Your subject matter, the reasoning behind it, make it phony. So all your bars is up under the firmament of your subject matter. And your subject matter is in the old world. I don't care about you looking out of the New York City block windowsill and seeing all the drug dealers selling something or stuff. Nobody care about you being a foreigner and lost, and y'all parents was working out of college or something like that. The whole paradigm is phony. Whole paradigm. So you can't even make a good song in my eardrum. You know what I'm saying? You can't even pick a good beat in my eardrum. Nas trash. Jay-Z trash. You know what I'm saying? Compared to me, your whole paradigm is phony. Now y'all got to make up stuff I never cared about in the first place, calling it stuff. You got a lot of attention. You fucked a female that ain't part of your family or your culture. Y'all all over the place. You rapped about selling drugs or whatever the case or whatever, and your highest record is your only dissing your own kind or whatever the case may be. It's phony. You ain't got no you ain't got nothing to make one of your songs better than mine's subject matter. So all my bars and firmament is better than yours. You know what I'm saying? One of my songs is better than every Jay-Z song. Right? You'll probably be like, how? My flow, Maltese, everything. He sold more records. How? Off dissing his own kind. At least I'm talking about colonists. At least I'm talking about people that actually against y'all and stuff like that. Y'all phony. Y'all got battle bars against y'all own people and stuff like that. Y'all, that's why y'all celebrate Kendrick Lamar and Samuel L. Jackson up there in a coon outfit or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think about what y'all got in y'all top records. I'm better than the Clips. The Clips, they ain't never sold no drugs. They phony. I probably sold more drugs than them. They phony, and I don't do that. But they trash. You probably saying how you trash. My bars is better than theirs. My beats is better than theirs. And the whole subject matter is better than theirs. I don't even got to rap about drugs, and I'm a better drug dealer rapper than them. And when I ain't even rapping about drugs. The mentality a person have to be in to be a better banking, better drug dealer, all that. And I'm from the hood. They trash and shit like that. You'll probably be like, nah, that don't make no sense. Y'all culture phony then. Because if y'all get ready to say Clips better than me, how? Y'all about to give Clips a Grammy or something like that? It's a whole drug dealing album. So in one breath, y'all want to be motivational speakers. Hey, y'all need to come together and stuff like that. Stop drug dealing. Then in another breath, here y'all go. Y'all want to go against the real native here. And stuff like y'all want to say, oh no, he better than you. Y'all all just colonists. Y'all all colonists. You know what I'm saying? And I'm mixed with y'all. I ain't pure Native American. You know what I'm saying? But I can see y'all world now. You know what I'm saying? I can see it or whatever the case may be. Y'all about to be quick to say Clips better than me. That's why y'all ain't never support me or whatever the case may be. That's why I ain't never cared to talk about none of y'all like that. Y'all just monkeys. Y'all gonna be quick to say Clips better than somebody or whatever the case may be. It's a whole bunch of fantasy drug dealing raps. This a bunch of out this world stuff. They sound like battle rappers, but just drug dealing rappers. You know what I'm saying? But it sound like a whole bunch of nonsense, a whole bunch of crazy. They sound like a Cassidy record, or a battle rapper record, or somebody like that. It sound like all over the place. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what y'all be rapping about. You know what I'm saying? I got the cartridge can up under the tarnished pan. I was frying it so long, I was like Vintage and Carnage and Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff like that. I got a gun so big, it's bigger than 8 continents. Oh, better than that. I was all over the world over a boat. I knew all the astrologists. I was shooting everybody in the column shift. I was Gotham City, and I fucked all the column chicks. Oh, something like that. These guys be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I just smoked a blunt so big. I thought the government fund some blimps. Oh, something like that. I had 8 chicks in the bedroom giving me head off lead shrooms. Goddamn drool, all of that. All of that. I'm like, okay. And all of that. That's how everybody be sounding. That's how Jay-Z used to sound too. Jay-Z used to sound crazy. Everybody be sounding crazy and stuff like that. I'm like, man, what y'all sound like, man? Y'all ain't got nothing to do and stuff like that. Y'all ain't got nothing to rap about or whatever the case may be. Now, ain't nothing wrong with drug dealing rap or whatever the case, but it's just, you could tell the difference between someone who trying to get paid off of it and someone who tired of drug dealing and it's just part of their raps. You know what I'm saying? You could tell the difference. Jay-Z was a spokesperson for it. So he was being used by a colonist to see how many people were actually selling drugs. 50 Cent was an agent. 50 Cent was used to see how many people was into gangster music at a certain time and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people just be used. That's why they was able to make so much money. So if it's a rapper that's allowed to make as much money as Jay-Z and 50 Cent, you got to know that they're agents. Now, here's the thing. The agents vary, right? So you could just be an agent simply because your handlers, like you got the right handlers and lawyer, right? So you got this type of family member that's a handler or something like that. Because this is how colonists look at it. Like Europeans that's in the colonist world look at it. They don't look at the military like joining the military. They look at the military like they are the military. So when you think about all the Indian wars over here, right? You don't understand what white people are fighting for. Some of them. There's not a lot of them left. So that's why they have to use mind games for everybody and even the current white people here. But it's your family owning something. So you could be a white person in the colonist world, right? And you own that jail. So I'm saying, so your whole family been making money off that jail in that city since forever. Your family own that city block. So all the buildings and stuff like that is, you see what I'm saying? It's like that. So when y'all get to situations of now and how rappers and stuff like that, right? You could tell when someone is in the system. Because people like 50 Cent and Jay-Z got lawyers and stuff and handlers that's part of a family that probably own a whole jail and how that run. Or like whole little corporations type shit and stuff like that. So these people is looking at it like our puppets is making money for us. You know how like Trump got that Trump funds or Trump, whatever they call that? I forgot what they call that. That Nicki Minaj is paying. So it's like that. So it's not truly your money. So 50 Cent just don't mind doing those type of things. So that's what make him and his little networking system go beyond him. So it's a lot of things that 50 Cent do that go beyond him. Like when he was putting out records, a lot of artists was in this position. I'm just using him as an example, right? Young Jeezy almost was there at a level. He just ain't stick there, right? So you will have what do I mean by that, right? one of your handlers would tell you, since you already hot, hey, once you make a song about your president being black. You know what I'm saying? So now it's beyond you. You know your song. They almost try to have a little baby like that when he made that one song, right? These is industry tactics. Now, when Young Jeezy do it, it's also gonna get supported by the people who did it because they know how broad it's gonna reach out. But the other money that was made from it, beyond Young Jeezy, went towards these programs that, let's say it was people against that, and let's say if we was going through election season, the CIA, the feds, and the military is willing to take people out at that time. So anybody who probably was against it was probably one of the boxes that we can counterpartmentalize as everybody who probably hated that song at that time. These were people that was able to get psyoped on, and they probably would have had a Democratic shield or a Republican shield start being on the opposite that ain't gonna get harmed, but try to rouse these people up so these people be out in their own environments to actually do it, or whatever the case may be. So that's how you see a person like 50 Cent or Young Jeezy being an agent 7 degrees distance away from being a participant, but just being part of the industry and the system. And you could be an artist that allow these things. This is what I call the low class, the lower class industry plant. And I explained earlier how you got the middle class industry plant and the top tier industry plant, which is you just everything wrote for you, your whole script, right? So that's like Vanilla Ice and Drake. So then you got middle class, you know what I'm saying? Regular people who try to make it, they let themselves be used every now and then, but it ain't that deep. So that's like, you know, the Jada Kisses. In the new age right now, that'd be like the NBA Young Boys and stuff like that, right? You might see them where they paint their nails every now and then. And in D-Block time, you may hear them get recommended to make a song for the people in the jails every now and then. But he ain't really go to jail. NBA Young Boy really don't care about nail polish. You see what I'm saying? It's just like that. They get made to do that, but they not that. You know what I'm saying? The D-Block managers that's actually from the streets that turned fed actually told them, hey, make songs for people who on in Rikers Island. Do that. You always gonna have a middleman that's a coon, a fed that's acting like they ain't. You know what I'm saying? That's the middle class one. So sometimes you don't know that you bringing more youth to jail because you think you making a hot record, and you kind of know it, but you might allow it, you might not. So you end up being in that limbo space like Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? And rest in peace, Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? And you might get into that thought of going to try to stop stuff like that in industry, or just stay in that little Jada Kiss, I'm going to go ahead and do narrative damage control for that Fat Joe industry, energy kind of concept. You know what I'm saying? Then, and then you got the people who all in though. The high class, the lowest class, like 50 Cent and Jay-Z, they from the hood, then they even just allow it, make a lot of money from it, but they 7 degrees away. So you can't necessarily point the finger at Jay-Z, and he could make a song around it, and you might like the song because he was witty about it. But behind closed doors, you and him know he made money off you, and in a rock in the sleep way, just enough for you to be like, well, I like his music, but let me not dump too much responsibility on him on funding churches and schools and stuff and building my community up. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the highest class version of it, right? Like the industry plant, right? So these would be your Dr. Dre's, your Drake's. Snoop Doggy Dogg jumped in that level to be a household name. So he Yogi Bear Crip. Then you got the Drake, and you got the Vanilla Isis. So not only do everything be made up for them, they actually be in on it, and they know everything about it when it comes to the people that they're influencing being in harm's way when it comes to the rapture or whatever the case. So let's use Drake for example, right? Everything is made up. all the way to his album. So he have handlers that's in on the whole Republican Party and ICE thing, right? So a lot of artists been doing that before it was even called ICE. It's called campaigns that they run. You know what I'm saying? So him dropping ICE is a distraction for y'all to like his music, ICE, but it's also his handlers that's part of ICE in another way, allowing everybody to get hurt at a concert and stuff like that, or be out here and stuff. But Drake's career went in a different direction. So the reason why Drake is suing ain't necessarily because of Kendrick. Kendrick knew they all was in on that thing. It's just the handlers made a different concept. They be trying to attack multiple birds with one stone because they be trying to play God. Their thing was to try to get people to be quiet on anti-Semitism based upon the bucket hats. So since they use it through business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. And entertainment, since it's known that Drake is a Jew, and since it's known that Kendrick Lamar is an African-American conscious rapper, so they said, hey, let's start a fight here, because they're not trying to harm people. So let's start this, but we're gonna make it's like fake wrestling. They did it with wrestling too. We're gonna make Kendrick Lamar win, but we also gonna create enough platforms because for Drake to actually still be in this position. So we're bringing people together, and people so distracted. The people we're actually looking at stop this anti-Semitism stuff, and now we see social media catching flame and attention for this. So this is one of the ways that they attacked it at, right? This is when you're in a position of trying to play God and you ain't God. And God children down here be looking at this type of stuff too. But for the most part, here's the thing, right? Since whatever Kendrick did on his own volition based upon his creativity, the social media audience in real life took that and ran with it in another way that was out of the industry and the handlers' hands. So whatever that they was going to do to save face and do damage control for Drake that was planned, right? That can was kicked down the road and with God doing the reasonings behind everything. So they can't even save Drake's career. So now they're part of the old world tear down, and their explanation and justifications has to be filtered through the new world. So when Drake is trying to sue, he's trying to make it make sense in the new world based upon trying to save his old world tactic. So it doesn't make sense. It just looks like he's suing Kendrick Lamar, where in all actuality, he's suing the industry because they didn't do what they're not telling us the actual plan is, because we just consumers. But that's actually the thing. If there was a movie about a scripted reality or Love and Hip Hop about these celebrities' real life and what's going on behind closed doors, what I'm talking about will be the reality of it. So when y'all watching like stuff like Love and Hip Hop and what's going on behind closed doors, this what real celebrities actually go through in real life. They real life is just made up as a story, and they be doing the same things like scripted reality. You just don't know the starting point of it to look at it that way, because I just gave it to you. Now you know rappers and singers and comedians get up every day, just like what you see on Love and Hip Hop and stuff like that, just 10 times more. They think it's more important, but it's the same thing of that nature, right? So for the most part, so they can't save Drake's career. So Drake is in a position where it's impossible to recoup the amount of digits, the 6 digits and 7 digits numbers that he have already got for his album. So for the most part, that's why he's suing, and it really wasn't even his decision. The reason why he's suing has to be made up like it's something that he's involved in Kendrick Lamar, but it's truly just his lawyer and his team, and whoever he's suing, their team know the actual suing also is actually what I'm talking about, the actual Katab sue. I'm saying. But for the most part, here's the thing. So that's why they made Kendrick Lamar slow down talking stuff about him. Because any rapper who really destroyed somebody would be doing mad interviews, bragging about it, and stuff like that. They made Kendrick Lamar not even do interviews and stuff like that. Because it's all wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So, for the most part, they're starting to figure out why they even giving Kendrick Lamar so much money. Because the intensity behind the optics of him beating Drake don't pour into actual people viewing and actual people buying records. It actually just entices people trying to get more lit themselves online still, and everybody having their own opinion, and everybody's opinion is higher on a percentage scale of Kendrick Lamar is trash. Like, Kendrick Lamar ain't get no better. Kendrick Lamar is still trash. Kendrick Lamar never was dope. That was a psyop. So for the most part, I don't even know where y'all got that from. He don't even use multis. Kendrick Lamar is trash. Now when it comes into that's why Drake's suing for reasons he can't tell y'all. And it's not even Drake suing. It's Drake team that make more money off of him for him to be in a position. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to keep that in mind. So that's the highest form of where you just with everything. You know what I'm saying? Because they got it's a lot of shields, Democrat, Republican shields online that try to rock the hood to sleep. People like us to sleep and stuff like that. They be getting little punk checks and stuff like that. They got streamers doing it, young streamers doing it, right? It's easy to spot them. Anytime someone who if they was out of the country when everybody was experiencing a snowstorm, their agents, their handlers gave them a check to go out the country. So you probably, if I Show Speed is out the country, he being used. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So people have conversations around them. It's gonna be a snow. It's gonna, like, their descendants be acting like gods even when they don't know the full spectrum of why they told to tell their pets 7 degrees through layer or something. So a person might not know the weather is getting manipulated, but if they're a descendant and they're a lawyer or a handler of someone, they're gonna know a little bit of something with their own idea, and they probably go to that Catholic school or something like that, or Jesuit school. So they go tell their pet celebrity, hey, it's gonna be real cold. We're gonna send you to somewhere else or whatever, or it's gonna be this. Hey, let's go to California, or it's gonna be this or something like that. Once you make a video about this, or once you go live about that, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's just, that's the end. But that's the old world at the moment. Everybody in that world is just 15% of them. So they're trying to figure out why they're not getting reactions the way they want, because everybody in their own world and in their own cultures at the moment. So you're just expressing that's your culture. You're a culture of a lie, or you're a culture of a coon, or you're a culture. This is why it's not a lot of people going against what's dude name? What's the comedian dude name? The comedian versus the Anton Coleman. Is it Holman something? Holman versus Anton. Corey. Yeah, Corey. Yeah, Corey Holcomb. I don't know how I get that wrong. The Corey Holcomb versus and that's why it's not an outrage about him talking about Anton kids and stuff like that. Because I think Anton did that too. And Lord knows what money I'm about to get just off my chat. So you can't really do too much as people, and then them grown men. Everybody not white woman feminists. So everybody not going to have that type of reaction. And y'all keep trying to make that America to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep trying to make the white feminist energy American culture. And that's not American culture. So you got to think about it. What is the white European feminist pilgrim energy? It's protesting. It's pop culture, aka faking that something is creative. Trying to find narratives getting emotionally aroused by things that ain't your business and involving yourself in things that you're interested into. That's and y'all be doing that with business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. And it doesn't work anymore. But that's American culture, white feminism. So it's like the only thing y'all got to go to left is to make that work is enticing. Y'all got to make somebody care about money. Make somebody care about emotional arousement. Make somebody want to protest. Make somebody care about somebody else that ain't got nothing to do with them. And everybody just need to mind their business and care about their own creativity so we can care about you. The end. And I love all y'all. So at this point, we can't really be saying American culture and America is doing stuff. No, it's just ethnic groups doing things. What specific ethnic group is doing that specific thing? That's it. And we ain't about to have that conversation. That we ain't gonna never. Well, y'all ain't never gonna be able to point the finger at the right individuals who just doing right or wrong. And that's not to say even just because I was making feminists and European the feminists as an example, I'm not tying that to who's doing right or wrong. Everybody is in a position right now to you just doing self-serving stuff or you doing stuff that's actually genuine and relatable. Everybody. But Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Monumentarius Moon. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. I'm going for that, I'm going for that. Erectus Swat, Hill, Hold That, Yellow, Master Sword, Mama Natoid, Master Saki.